Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Archbald Pothole State Park, and it is in northeastern Pennsylvania. The park is 150 acres and it is named for Archbald Pothole. It's a geologic feature that was formed during the Wisconsin glacial period around 15,000 years ago.
Somebody threw a garbage can.
So one of the concerns with this park is garbage. They have a serious issue with people coming and throwing trash into the pothole. The pothole is 38 feet deep. It has an elliptical shape. The diameter of the pothole decreases downward. The largest diameter is 42 feet by 24 feet, and at the bottom it is 17 feet by 14 feet. The pothole could hold about 140,000 gallons. It would take 35 fire truck tankers to fill the pothole. Coal miner Patrick Mahan discovered Archbald Pothole in 1884 while extending a mine shaft. Mr. Mann fired a blast of explosives and water and stones came rushing out. The miners fled, fearing that the mountain was falling on them. Edward Jones, the manager of the mining company, investigated and ordered the area cleared of debris. About 800 to 1,000 tons of small rounded stones were removed, and Mr. Jones realized that the vertical tunnel was a large pothole. About 1,000 feet north of Archbald Pothole, another pothole was found. It was thought to be larger than the first pothole, and it was not excavated because of the excessive cost. That's a nice shot there. In 1914, the widow of Colonel Hackley donated a 1-acre deed, which included the pothole, to the Reformed Lackawanna Historical Society. With the addition of 150 acres, Archbald Pothole became a Lackawanna County Park in 1940. The county deeded the property to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in 1961, and after improvements, Archbald Pothole State Park was dedicated in 1964. At least 4 ice advances, often called ice ages, have moved south into Pennsylvania. They are the Nebraskan, Kansan, Illinoisan, and Wisconsin. Most of the evidence of glaciers in Pennsylvania is from the most recent advance, the Wisconsin glacial period. Archbald Pothole was formed during the Wisconsin glacial period between 30,000 and 11,000 years ago. The eastern side of the park has undergone strip mine reclamation and has athletic fields in Ed Staback Park. So we're investigating a little bit. This park is close to home, and I'll be honest, I never come here because I always thought it was just the parking lot and the pothole. But recently I saw on social media someone was up here hiking, and they're a birder, and they had pictures of birds up, and they mentioned the trails at Archbald Pothole State Park. So I did a bunch of research, and that's when I found out about Ed Staback Park, which is where all of the athletic fields are. And it sounds like the community had requested help from Ed Staback to put in the athletic fields for the community, and he was instrumental in getting the funding and negotiating with the state to have the fields put in. And there are trails that go from the pothole down to Ed Staback Park. I think that if we go this way, it's the shorter loop. So that's what we're doing here today. We're exploring a little bit. I think the last time I was here was probably 35 to 40 years ago. And I had no pictures. And I am working on a photo book because I recently visited all of Pennsylvania state parks, and I wanted to create a photo book and realized I had no pictures from Archbald Pothole. So that's what brought me back to the park. That and seeing photos from trails here. Now, as I was researching about Archbald Pothole and Ed Staback Park, so the borough is actually leasing the land from the state, and it looks like they renewed the lease in 2017, and it was a 10-year lease to maintain the fields here at the park. And it seems like there's been some controversy about that. There's a Facebook group, Save Ed Staback Park. So it seems as though it may not always get the maintenance that it needs. And due to the excessive cost, they're not sure if the borough is going to continue to do that. I think it's down here. Doesn't seem as though the trails get a lot of foot traffic, and I think that if we go around here it comes to the same spot, so instead of climbing over trees we'll go around. Yeah. Alright. And today is August 3rd, So everything is grown in here. This might be a great park to visit in the winter. And when I did look up Ed Staback Park, it looks like there's a couple of trails. There's a nice view there. And just a quick search on the internet. Ed Staback Park is located in Archbald, Pennsylvania. It is a recreational area situated on land reclaimed from former anthracite mining operations. The park is named after former State Representative Ed Staback, who played a key role in securing funding and negotiating with the state to develop the park on the reclaimed land. It features baseball fields, basketball and tennis courts, a football field, playground, and hiking trails. We're going to have to do a tick check today. Oh, I'm seeing a handicap parking sign, so we must be coming up to one of the parking lots. Yep. Alright. That looks like a soccer field. And again, this mentions the park is a lease agreement between the Borough of Archbald and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, with the borough responsible for maintenance. And it also mentions how there have been concerns about the park's future due to the borough potentially not renewing the lease, which could lead to the park's closure or reduced maintenance. Alright, so we just picked the shortest trail between the Archbald Pothole and Ed Staback Park. But to me it looks like the grass has been cut recently. So hopefully that's a good sign. Looks like there's a portage on in every parking lot. There's a couple of parking areas. Quick tick check. Alright, so we're heading back on the trail. might be the first park that is set up like this that I can remember anyway. So I've been to other parks that have recreational areas for basketball and tennis and things like that, but I don't remember ever reading anything about, you know, the local township or borough being responsible for maintaining the area. On our way back, I might take the longer route back and see what that trail is like, since this was kind of a short little hike. Over here. And you can find the trails on all trails. There is a loop within Ed Staback Park, but you can also just pull up that map for that trail and guide yourself between the two parks. I'll go back this way. That's a little too high. The grass. Seeing tons of birds and butterflies. And I'm sure that if you take your time and walk through, you can get more photos of birds. Hi everyone, I wanted to show you the trails that we hiked this day. The information that's available on Archbald Pothole State Park website is minimal. If you click on their hiking tab, it just says a small loop trail starting at the wayside follows an old coal mine tram road past rock ledges and through a forest. And if you look at their map, this is what it shows. It just shows in the enlargement here is the parking area and the walkway to the pothole. It doesn't show any of the trails. So I found the trails available on all trails, and this gives you a good example of what we did that day. We parked up here at the Archbald Pothole State Park parking area, which is off of Business Route 6. Here is the pothole, and we took this trail down all the way down this way, and we popped out in this parking area here, which is by a soccer field. But also available on all trails, they have a loop, which I believe this is the Overlook Trail, and they have it listed as 0.8 of a mile, but as you can see, there are other trails within the loop. And I also pulled up Google Maps, and this will show you, here's Business Route 6, here's the parking area for Archbald Pothole. It doesn't show the trails that we took, but we took the trail all the way down and popped out at this parking area. So you really could pop out here and road walk to the next parking area and get onto the Overlook Trail and hike it that way. Or you can come in from this side of the park, which I believe is the east side of the park, and this is Staback Park Access Road. You can come in and pass out the tennis courts and this athletic field. You can either park here at the basketball courts and get onto the Overlook Trail to do the loop, or if you wanted to start from Archbald Pothole and hike the trail that we did and pop out at this parking area, and then you could road walk up to this parking area and get onto the Overlook loop here. I think maybe next time what I'll do is I will enter from the Ed Staback Park side and park here at the basketball courts and get onto the trail here. It does show a little pond, so hopefully I can get back and do that hike. But I hope this gives you a good example of what we did and helps you out if you want to get up to Archbald Pothole and hike some trails. We're just exploring a little bit. We passed the trail back to the parking lot at Archbald Pothole, but I saw all of this blue sky down here, so I don't know if there's an overlook or that might be a building. I guess we'll see when we get down here. I see a car. A bunch of cars. Let's see what we have. Nope, it came out behind the tractor supply. So that's Route 6 out there. The parking area for Archbald Pothole is right off of Route 6. But this is the longer loop. Let's see. It looks like a trail right there. Alright, so that little part was kind of ugly, but here we are back in the woods. And at some point I would like to start the trail from Ed Staback Park and do that loop and see what that's like. So I'm hoping to get this video edited and up within the next few days. We have our big summer vacation coming up. Today is Sunday, August 3rd, and we are leaving on Friday, August 8th. And we are headed to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. So watch for those videos. Pretty excited. Everything that I've researched online shows it to be quite beautiful. Tons of lighthouses and waterfalls. Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. So that will be upcoming. Alright, it looks like we're coming to the point where the trail meets. I think this side looks better. Yeah, so that's the trail that we were on before, and we just did the bigger loop. Alright, we are back to the pothole. Thanks for following along. I appreciate it. Welcome back to my subscribers, and welcome to anyone new to the channel. Please consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, and give the video a like if you would. Helps out the channel. Thanks so much for following along, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.